The sun blazed over the French Riviera, painting the Croisette in gold. Yachts bobbed lazily in the harbor, and paparazzi lined the red carpet like vultures circling a carcass. Cannes was alive again. Its annual film festival had returned, bringing with it the glittering elite of cinema. But beneath the glamour, behind closed doors and in the shadows of ancient alleyways, something else stirred. Evelyn Carter had never been to Europe before. A screenwriter from Chicago, she'd spent years buried under rejection letters and studio notes that all said the same thing: too dark. So when her screenplay, The Hollow Hour, was accepted into the Un Certain Regard section at Cannes, she should have been ecstatic. She wasn't. She remembered stepping off the plane in Nice, the heat hitting her like a wall, and the way the taxi driver kept glancing at her in the rearview mirror. He didn't speak English, but his eyes lingered too long, as if trying to warn her without words. When they arrived at the hotel, he refused to pull up to the entrance. "This place," he muttered in broken English, "has its own rules." Evelyn laughed it off. Jet lag, culture shock, classic first-timer nerves. The lobby of the Hotel Le Grand Miroir was elegant, even opulent, though there was a strange stillness to it. The bellhop who took her bags barely spoke, and when he did, his voice was low, almost reverent. Her room was on the 5th floor, overlooking the sea. That night she couldn't sleep. It wasn't jet lag, it was the silence. Not the absence of sound, but the kind of silence that feels intentional. As if the world outside had stopped breathing just to listen. At 3:07 a.m., Evelyn heard footsteps in the hallway. Slow, deliberate. No creaks, no heel clicks, just movement. Then came the whispering, not through the walls, not from the vents, from inside her head. Words she didn't recognize, syllables that didn't belong to any language she knew, and yet somehow she understood them. Rewrite it. She sat bolt upright, heart pounding. The digital clock blinked mockingly, 3:14 a.m. When she got up to check the door, it was unlocked. She never opened it. The next day, Evelyn tried to forget what happened. She attended screenings, met producers, and smiled for photos. But during every conversation, she felt eyes on her, not from the crowd, but from somewhere deeper, like someone or something was watching her through the lens of reality itself. That evening, she watched her film play in the theater. The audience was silent throughout, stunned into stillness. Afterward, a producer approached her with tears in his eyes. "You wrote this?" he asked, voice trembling. "I did," she replied. "No," he whispered. "You remembered it." Later that night, she found a note slipped under her door. It was written in the same language she'd heard in her head, but now she could read it. "They will come for you after the final screening. Finish the script or be rewritten." Panic gripped her. She tried calling home, but the call wouldn't connect. Her laptop froze whenever she tried to send an email. Even her phone's GPS glitched, showing her location as unknown. Desperate, she went down to the hotel bar. There she met a man named Laurent, a retired French director known for a string of controversial horror films banned in several countries. He recognized her name immediately. "You're the one they chose," he said, swirling his wine. "Chose? For what?" "To complete the cycle," he said simply. "Cannes is more than a festival. It's a ritual. Every year a new story is born, and every decade a soul is taken to keep the myth alive." Evelyn stared at him, unsure whether to laugh or run. Laurent leaned closer. "They don't make movies here," he whispered. "They unmake people." She left the bar shaken but curious. That night she began writing again. Not the screenplay she submitted, but something different. Something darker. Scenes flooded her mind unbidden. Images of empty theaters, screaming faces frozen mid-frame, actors who vanished after their roles were finished. By morning, the script was done, the Hollow Hour final reel. She printed it out and left it at the front desk with instructions to deliver it to the festival committee. Then she packed her bags and headed to the train station. But the train never came. Back at the hotel, her key card no longer worked. Her room had been changed. Room 508 was now room 000. Inside, the TV was on. Her face filled the screen. A press conference, a queue in a session, interviews she didn't remember giving, clips of her speaking about the true meaning of her film, clips where she looked directly into the camera and said things she hadn't said. "I'm honored to be part of the legacy," she said on screen. "I always wanted to be remembered. I am the story now." She screamed, but no sound came out. The whispers returned, louder this time. "Rewrite it." She tried burning the script, tearing the pages, throwing them into the sea. They reappeared each time, pristine and untouched. On the final night of the festival, her film played again. This time, the credits rolled with a new name attached. Written and directed by Evelyn Carter. And beneath it, final edition. After the screening, no one saw her leave. Some said she was whisked away by a private car. Others claimed she disappeared into the projection booth. One usher swore he saw her walk into the screen itself. The following year, a new film premiered at Cannes, titled Echoes of the Hollow Hour, directed by a woman no one had ever heard of, starring actors who died decades ago. And in the closing scene, a single line of text appeared. "Rewrite it.